Okay, so I've gone in, obviously you can see my hose is now out into the middle of track 3, so just going to reattach geeker clip. Looking at where it was positioned last time in its throw, I would think possibly as the 5 foot mark, so probably about 8 to 10 feet. Come and adjust that once we're in and running. So as you can see, if you stand here, that's just going to the headland. There, it's just going to the edge of that track. So I'd be more than happy with that. I just want to change the angle of the nozzle. It's not quite reaching, so I'm just going to So what we're doing is we're getting the wind coming in from there, so I just might have to Okay, so I'm more than happy now that this track 3 is certainly going to get the majority of the water where we positioned it. So as you can see, that's now done what, 5 or 6 turns, and we're starting to get a bit of, you know, the colour change within the soil. So I think, you know, what we tend to kind of look at the surface. I would perhaps leave this running, go off and do another job, and then keep checking on it every 5-10 minutes just to see how it's progressing. What I don't want to happen is it to start puddling. So when it starts puddling up, the seed will start washing out of the holes, and you'll get it all washing down onto the outfield. So the idea is just to keep an eye on it, just let it get moist enough without puddling, and then you can move it however far, you know, probably another, whatever the distance is from here to the sprinkler, you'd move it that far. So hopefully 2 or 3 passes and you'd get this track 3, you know, nice amount of water to help regenerate the area. Then also we're getting a little bit of coverage on track 5 as well, which is going to be the next one for preparation. It's not greatly, but there's some going on there. Obviously today is just about trying to get this track 3. Anything from your point of view, Martin?
No, I think you've got it covered there, mate. You mentioned equipment and what you use and maintenance. You check the pipe. You know,
yeah. As you can see, there's nothing leaking. If you look at the geeker clip there, there's no water coming out of there.
Basic system. You talked about the health and safety at the beginning. Other places may have reservoirs or different water sources which could create a different hazard, but from the mains, you're generally going to have a good water, clean water. Equipment's quite basic. You know if it's leaking, not working. So yeah, it's very good. Yeah, won't have a problem with that.
You know, obviously, sometimes the pipe splits. So what we would do is we'd cut it where the pipe is, and then we have just like some plumbing pipe, 12mm plumbing pipe, and we just basically clip the 2 over, and then 2 Jubilee clips, clip it all together. So if any was to happen with this pipe, although, you know, we need certain amounts of length so that we can get over to track 12. So obviously it's 100 from the middle stump of the artificial to the middle stump of track 12 is 130 feet. So it's quite a distance to divide that by 40 odd yards, so 40 metres, sorry.
The only thing I would say is with this task, what you just done, it's not an area of stress, it's just an area that needs watering.
Yeah.
It's a renovation and repair, isn't
Yeah.
it? What sort of the learners need to understand about identifying an area of stress? How would they do that?
So obviously looking at these wickets, so once that wicket is finished with, it's been under stress for probably 5 days of, you know, covers going on, sunlight all day, players scraping around on it. So what we tend to do is once a wicket's finished, we just flood it up, try and get some water down into the roots, because although it looks white and, you know, the golf course was to see something like that, they would think, oh, it's dead. But obviously on a cricket ground, all the water goes into the root. So what we're trying to do is get the colour back. So just by putting water on, within 2 days, that will come back to sort of coloration that would be like what we saw on track 12. That's not been cut or rolled for the last 5 days, and the coloration of that is come back nice and green, just with natural rainfall that we had last week. So this is what would happen with the 2 tracks here. If we was to let them rain like overnight on them, they would come back, you know, nice colour.
Yeah.